Hi, this is Amanda Cooper with Week 5 Assignment 3. Today I'd like to talk to everyone a little bit about identity theft and fraud, how it's committed, what we can do to prevent it, and what we need to do if it does happen to us. Unfortunately, I was a victim of fraud in 2007, and due to the increment of the amount of money that they stole, not only was the local authorities involved, but also the FBI and the out-of-state authorities. Over the years following this, I have become very abreast to what I needed to do to get everything fixed, how I can currently prevent it, and moving forward, how to monitor everything and make sure it doesn't happen again. The increase in identity theft is on the rise. In 2014, it stated on Kroll.com that every 3 seconds someone's identity is stolen. If I can help any way for anyone to be more aware of how to prevent this, then I would love to do that with this lecture. First of all, I'd like to talk about how some people can steal your identity and make you a victim of fraud or identity theft. One of the ways is the good old traditional stealing your wallet and purse. They can take your wallet and steal as much as they can by using your charge cards at all the stores they can and in a fastest amount of time as they can. Their goal is to get what they can get before you realize that your wallet or your credit cards have been stolen. The next way everyone's probably a lot more aware of is what just happened with Target over the Christmas holiday, is someone hacking in electronically and getting a customer database. And that is what happened with the Target. I know a lot of people that lost a good bit of money, and a lot of the transactions were held out of state. The third way that I have just realized on research, and I found this very amazing, and it brought a lot of light to my eyes in regards to how big identity theft really is when you go to a restaurant and you give someone your credit card and they ask for your ID. And they'll be right back, they got to swipe your card. They are actually taking pictures of your license front and back and your credit card front and back, and they actually sell it on what's considered a black market, and those people will sell it and make a little bit of money, and then the ones who purchase it actually steal your identity, or they give it to somebody else to steal your identity. They duplicate you, so there's actually two of you walking around. This is just started, and the research on this is just starting to grow largely. Also, the other ways that this can be done is anytime anybody asks you for those, where they can take a picture with a smartphone. So just be very well aware of where your IDs are at all times. There are many ways to try to prevent identity theft. One is letting your local bank or your bank where your checking and savings account is know that you don't want transactions that are out of state ever to be approved. If you plan on traveling, then you need to let them know that you will be traveling out of state and where they can approve these transactions through which state. A lot of identity theft, when it happens, you'll see a lot of out-of-state transactions very fast. Recently, a friend of mine, within 5 hours, she went to bed, and when she woke up, she had $3 left in her checking account, and all of the transactions, someone stole her identity, and overnight they had liquidated all of her checking and savings accounts, and it was done in New York and New Jersey. And we are located in Pennsylvania. There are a couple other ways that you can try to monitor your credit and see if you have been a victim of identity theft. You want to go ahead and sign up for some kind of protection, fraud protection, over the credit bureaus, and then that way they can alert you of any new inquiries that come through your credit cards or your social security number that would be on your credit report. So if it wasn't you, you can let them know it wasn't you, and that way it'll be resolved before it is even put on your credit report, and you'd have to fight months to get removed. Once you become a victim of fraud, there are many things that you'll need to do to try to clean up the mess that happens with the aftermath of being the victim. You're going to want to contact all of your credit companies, cancel all of your cards, and get new ones issued. Then you want to contact the credit bureaus, and there are 3 that report to your credit report, and let each one of them know separately that you have been a victim of fraud. They'll put a fraud alert on your credit report that requires anyone to issue you any credit. They'll have to call the number that you specify on the report. This lasts on your credit reports for months, and you can keep renewing it as long as you feel that necessarily is required. And another way is with the smartphones. You can have text messages and emails sent to you from your bank accounts, and of any transactions that are occurring. So that way you can stay on top of your transactions. If it's something that doesn't seem that it was you or your spouse, then you can contact the bank immediately and put a freeze on your account. So instead of them being able to liquidate your funds, then you are stopping them before they can get very far. Unfortunately, fraud is growing in the US and identity theft is growing. And there are so many people in the class that have already said that they have been victims of this. The best way to prevent it is to follow some of the simple steps that I had listed out earlier in the speech and just be well aware of what's going on with your credit and your liquid funds at all times. Try to keep an eye on all of your items. If someone calls you over the phone for your information, just